Welcome back to the channel, amazing collectors and coin enthusiasts. Hello everyone, today we're exploring another fascinating piece of American currency, the United States of America Jefferson Nickel, especially the coins with the D mint mark. If you love discovering hidden treasures in everyday coins, this video is definitely for you. The Jefferson Nickel is one of the most common 5-cent coins in the United States, but many collectors don't realize that some of these coins can actually become valuable U.S. coins, with inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum." These nickels carry history, national pride, and sometimes surprising collector value. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the Jefferson Nickel D Mint coins, their design, history, and the rare varieties that coin collectors are searching for. Some of these nickels might look ordinary, but certain dates, mint marks, and minting errors can make them highly desirable in the coin collecting world. So before you spend your old nickels, make sure to watch this video because one small coin could hold a big surprise. Stay with us as we uncover the story and potential value behind the Jefferson Nickel from the United States of America. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. The story of the 1973 D Jefferson Nickel begins with the familiar design of the iconic American 5-cent coin. On the front of this coin appears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, along with the powerful phrase, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side stands the historic home of Jefferson, Monticello, a symbol of American heritage and architectural beauty. At first glance, the 1973 D nickel might look like an ordinary pocket change coin, but within the fascinating world of coin collecting, certain rare examples of this coin can carry extraordinary value and excitement for collectors. The 1973 D nickel was struck at the famous United States Mint facility in Denver, which is why the small D mint mark appears beside the year. Millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, meaning they were used in shops, vending machines, and daily transactions across America. However, within such large production numbers, a few coins sometimes emerge with unique characteristics or exceptionally preserved conditions. These special examples are the ones collectors hunt for because they can be far more valuable than their face value of just 5 cents. What truly excites collectors is when a 1973 D Jefferson Nickel appears in extremely high mint condition. Coins that were never circulated and still maintain their original luster, sharp details, and brilliant surfaces are known as mint state coins. When graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, such coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. While most 1973 D nickels remain common, the rare pristine examples can surprise collectors with their impressive market value. Another factor that can increase the value of a 1973 D nickel is the presence of minting errors. During the minting process, small mistakes sometimes occur, such as doubled letters, off-center strikes, or unusual die marks. These errors transform an ordinary coin into a rare collectible piece. In the fascinating hobby of numismatics, collectors love error coins because they tell a story about how coins were made and how small variations can turn a simple coin into a valuable treasure. The design of the Jefferson Nickel itself has a long and respected history. The series first appeared in 1938 and has continued for decades as one of America's most recognizable coins. The portrait of Thomas Jefferson represents wisdom, independence, and the founding principles of the United States, while Monticello on the reverse reminds collectors of early American architecture and culture. Because of this historical significance, Jefferson nickels remain extremely popular among both beginner collectors and experienced numismatists. Although many stories online claim that ordinary coins can instantly make someone a millionaire, the real excitement lies in discovering truly rare examples. A 1973 D nickel in normal circulated condition is usually worth only a small amount above its face value. However, if a coin is perfectly preserved or contains a unique mint error, collectors may compete to acquire it, pushing its price much higher. That possibility is what keeps coin hunters searching through jars, piggy banks, and old collections. Collectors also enjoy studying the details of these coins under magnification. The texture of Jefferson's hair, the steps of Monticello, and the clarity of the inscriptions all reveal the quality of the strike. When every detail appears sharp and untouched by wear, the coin becomes far more desirable. Some collectors spend years searching for the finest examples of specific dates, such as the 1973 D nickel, to complete their collections. Another reason the 1973 D Jefferson nickel attracts attention is its connection to American economic history. Coins from the early 1970s circulated during a period of change in the United States, when currency design and production technology were evolving. Each coin from that era represents a small piece of everyday life from decades ago, making it more than just money. It becomes a historical artifact that traveled through countless hands. For coin collectors, the thrill is not just about money but about discovery. Finding an unusual coin in everyday change can feel like uncovering hidden treasure. The idea that a tiny 5-cent piece could hold unexpected value makes the hobby exciting and accessible to anyone. Even beginners can start searching their change and learning about mint marks, dates, and coin conditions. In the end, the 1973 D Jefferson nickel reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry fascinating stories and potential value. While most examples remain common coins, the rare high-grade or error varieties continue to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just starting your collecting journey, examining coins like the 1973 D nickel may lead you to a surprising discovery hiding in plain sight. The legendary 1957 D Jefferson nickel from the United States of America is one of those fascinating coins that captures the imagination of collectors around the world. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary 5-cent coin, but hidden within its history and rare variations lies the possibility of incredible value. The coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the front, along with the famous national motto, "In God We Trust." On the reverse side appears Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, symbolizing American heritage and history. While millions of these coins were produced in 1957, certain exceptional examples with unique characteristics have become highly desirable among collectors and can sell for surprisingly large amounts. What makes the 1957 D Jefferson nickel truly interesting is the small mint mark D, which indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. During the late 1950s, the Denver Mint produced a huge number of nickels, yet only a small portion were preserved in flawless condition. Over time, most circulated coins developed scratches, wear, and dull surfaces. However, coins that remained untouched and perfectly preserved have become extremely rare. When collectors discover a bright, sharp, high-grade 1957 D nickel, excitement spreads quickly because these coins represent a small surviving group of near-perfect pieces from the era. Collectors are especially fascinated by examples that display exceptional luster and strong details. On a high-quality coin, Jefferson's hair strands appear crisp, the lettering stands out clearly, and the image of Monticello shows sharp architectural lines. Such coins are often described as gem condition by professional graders. When a coin from 1957 survives in this extraordinary state, its value increases dramatically. Some collectors are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars simply to own one of the finest known examples. Another factor that makes certain 1957 D nickels valuable is the possibility of minting errors. During the coin-making process, small mechanical mistakes can occur, creating unusual features that collectors love. These may include doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual surface textures. A rare mint error on a 1957 D nickel instantly transforms it from an ordinary coin into a unique collectible piece. Because errors cannot be easily reproduced, each one becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure sought by numismatists. The historical background of the Jefferson Nickel series also adds to the excitement. The design was first introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson's contribution to American history. The coin remained in production with only minor design changes for decades, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in the United States. By the time the 1957 D version was struck, the coin had already become a familiar symbol of everyday commerce across the country. Despite being a common circulation coin in its time, the 1957 D nickel can sometimes surprise collectors with impressive auction prices. Coins graded at the very top levels, where every detail is nearly perfect, can sell for remarkable amounts in the collector market. Professional grading services carefully examine the surface, shine, and strike quality of each coin before assigning a grade. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes, and the more collectors compete to own it. For coin hunters, finding one of these nickels can feel like discovering hidden treasure. Many collectors search through old coin jars, bankrolls, or inherited collections hoping to spot a rare date or pristine example. Even though millions were originally minted, only a small number remain in exceptional condition today. That scarcity is what drives the excitement and keeps collectors constantly searching. Another important aspect that influences the coin's desirability is its historical connection to mid-20th century America. The 1950s were a time of economic growth and cultural change in the United States. Coins like the 1957 D nickel quietly passed through countless hands in stores, restaurants, and markets. Each piece represents a small fragment of that era's daily life, making it more than just currency. It becomes a miniature artifact of history. Because of these factors, condition, rarity, mint errors, and historical significance, the 1957 D Jefferson nickel continues to attract the attention of collectors and investors. While most examples are worth only a small amount above face value, the finest and rarest specimens can command extraordinary prices. Stories of valuable coins appearing unexpectedly in pocket change keep collectors motivated and curious. So if you ever come across an old Jefferson nickel dated 1957 with the D mint mark, it may be worth taking a closer look before spending it. The shine, the details, and the condition could reveal something special. What appears to be an ordinary 5-cent coin might actually be a remarkable collectible piece of American history, one that reminds us that sometimes small objects can carry surprisingly. The story of the 1941 Jefferson nickel is one that fascinates collectors around the world. At first glance, this small 5-cent coin from the United States may look ordinary, something that could easily pass through your hands without a second thought. But in the world of rare coin collecting, appearances can be deceiving. Some versions of the 1941 Jefferson nickel have captured the attention of collectors because of their historical background, limited high-grade survival, and unique mint characteristics. For a passionate coin hunter, discovering one of these coins in exceptional condition can feel like uncovering a hidden treasure. The coin belongs to the famous Jefferson Nickel series, which replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel design. It features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most influential figures in American history. The obverse of the coin proudly displays Jefferson's profile along with the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." On the reverse side, the design showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia estate. This elegant design has made the Jefferson nickel one of the most recognizable coins in American numismatic history. When the 1941 Jefferson nickel was minted, the world was standing on the edge of dramatic change. The United States had not yet fully entered World War II, but economic and political tensions were already affecting industries and minting operations. Coins produced during this time carry a special historical charm because they represent a moment just before wartime changes reshaped the composition and production of American coinage. For collectors, this historical context adds an extra layer of value and fascination. Most 1941 Jefferson nickels were struck in large numbers at mints such as United States Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Because millions of these coins were produced, many examples still exist today. However, what truly excites collectors are the rare high-grade specimens that survived decades of circulation without losing their sharp details and brilliant surfaces. Coins preserved in near-perfect condition can command significantly higher prices compared to ordinary circulated examples. Another factor that can make a 1941 Jefferson nickel extremely valuable is the presence of mint errors or unusual striking characteristics. In the coin collecting world, even a tiny difference can dramatically increase a coin's desirability. A strong strike, well-defined steps on the Monticello building, or an unusual minting flaw can transform a simple 5-cent coin into a prized collectible. When collectors discover these rare varieties, they often compete fiercely to add them to their collections. The term full steps is especially important for Jefferson nickel collectors. Coins with clearly visible steps on the Monticello building are considered superior strikes and are far rarer than ordinary examples. A full steps Jefferson nickel from 1941 can attract serious attention at auctions. When such coins are preserved in pristine mint state condition, their value can climb dramatically compared to regular coins from the same year. Over the decades, rare high-grade 1941 Jefferson nickels have appeared in prestigious coin auctions. Collectors who specialize in early Jefferson nickels carefully examine every detail, luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. When a nearly flawless example appears, it can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grading and rarity. The excitement surrounding these auctions shows how a small coin can capture enormous interest in the numismatic world. One reason collectors continue searching for coins like the 1941 Jefferson nickel is the thrill of discovery. Many valuable coins have been found in old coin jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers. This possibility keeps collectors motivated, always checking their change and studying their coins carefully. Sometimes a coin that once seemed ordinary reveals itself to be far more special than anyone expected. For YouTube viewers and coin enthusiasts, the message is simple but powerful. Never ignore old coins. A small piece of metal that once bought a candy bar decades ago may now carry historical importance and collectible value. While not every 1941 Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune, the rare high-grade examples prove that even the smallest coins can hold surprising value for collectors and historians. So the next time you come across an old nickel, take a closer look. Study the details, the shine, and the condition. Hidden among everyday coins could be a remarkable piece of history waiting to be recognized. For collectors of American coins, the 1941 Jefferson nickel remains a symbol of how a simple 5-cent coin can spark curiosity, excitement, and the endless dream of discovering a rare treasure. The story of the 1946 Jefferson nickel begins in the historic year right after World War II, when the United States Mint returned to producing the classic 5-cent coin that millions of Americans used every day. The coin proudly features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, along with the powerful words, "In God we trust." At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin, but collectors know that some 1946 Jefferson nickels can hold surprising value. Hidden among everyday pocket change could be a coin that carries remarkable historical importance and an exciting value for collectors around the world. The reverse side of this coin displays the famous home of Jefferson, Monticello, carefully engraved with elegant detail. This design has been one of the most recognizable in American coinage history. When the first 1946 nickels were struck, they symbolized a new beginning for the nation after the war years. While most coins from that year are common, collectors carefully search for rare mint conditions, unusual mint marks, or special varieties that can dramatically increase the coin's value in the numismatic market. One of the most interesting things about the 1946 Jefferson nickel is the possibility of finding rare mint varieties. Coins produced at different mints can carry small letters that identify where they were struck. For example, coins made at the United States Mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco may have slightly different characteristics. A coin struck with exceptional sharpness or a unique mint error can become extremely desirable among collectors who are constantly searching for hidden treasures in old American coins. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of a 1946 Jefferson nickel. A heavily circulated coin that has spent decades passing from hand to hand may only be worth a small amount above its face value. However, a coin preserved in near-perfect mint state condition, with full details and original shine, can attract serious attention from collectors and grading experts. These pristine coins are rare because very few were saved carefully when they were first released. Another exciting aspect that drives collectors' interest is the possibility of rare errors. Sometimes during the minting process, coins are struck with unusual features such as doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These small imperfections may seem like mistakes, but in the world of coin collecting, they can transform an ordinary nickel into a highly valuable collectible. A unique error coin from 1946 can spark bidding wars among collectors who appreciate rare minting anomalies. Professional grading also plays a crucial role in determining the market value of these coins. Experts carefully examine every detail, surface quality, strike sharpness, and original luster to assign a grade. A higher grade means the coin is closer to its original condition, which can significantly increase its price. Collectors often send their best coins to grading companies to certify authenticity and protect their investment. For many coin enthusiasts, the thrill lies in the possibility that a forgotten coin could hold extraordinary value. Stories circulate among collectors about rare nickels discovered in old jars, inherited collections, or antique shops. Although not every 1946 Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune, the excitement of searching keeps collectors passionate and hopeful that the next coin they examine might be the one that stands out. The 1946 nickel is also important because it represents a transition in American coinage history. During the war years from 1942 to 1945, nickels were made with silver to conserve nickel metal for military equipment. After the war ended, the composition returned to the traditional copper-nickel alloy. Because of this historical shift, coins from the mid-1940s carry a special place in the timeline of American currency. Collectors around the world admire the Jefferson nickel not only for its potential value but also for its connection to American history and culture. The portrait of Jefferson symbolizes the ideals of liberty and democracy that shaped the nation. Holding a coin minted decades ago allows collectors to feel connected to the past and to the people who once used the same piece of currency in their daily lives. In the end, the 1946 Jefferson nickel reminds us that even the smallest coin can hold a fascinating story. While most examples are modestly valued, rare high-grade pieces or unusual varieties can become highly sought after in the collecting community. For coin enthusiasts, every old nickel is worth a closer look, because hidden among ordinary coins could be a remarkable piece of history waiting to be discovered. The fascinating story of the 1958 Jefferson nickel begins with one small 5-cent coin that many people overlook in their pocket change. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary coin, but collectors know that certain rare versions of this coin can carry astonishing value. The Jefferson nickel series has been part of American history since 1938, and the 1958 issue remains one of the coins that sparks curiosity among collectors and treasure hunters. For some people, discovering a rare nickel like this feels like uncovering hidden history, because a tiny piece of metal could potentially be worth far more than its face value. The 1958 Jefferson nickel was minted in the United States during an era when everyday coins were produced in massive numbers. Most of them entered circulation and were used for daily purchases, but a small number survived in extraordinary condition or with unusual minting features. These special examples are the ones that capture the attention of collectors. In today's coin market, condition plays a powerful role in determining value. A coin that appears almost untouched, with sharp details and brilliant surfaces, can be dramatically more valuable than a worn example that circulated for years. One reason collectors admire the Jefferson nickel is its iconic design. The front of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. His calm profile represents a significant piece of American heritage. On the reverse side, the coin displays the famous building Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. This design has remained one of the most recognizable images in American coinage, making the nickel both historically meaningful and visually distinctive. Although millions of 1958 nickels were produced, a few rare variations or exceptionally preserved pieces can reach impressive prices in the collector market. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services often sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The excitement around these coins comes from the possibility that a rare high-grade example could still be hiding in an old jar, coin album, or inherited collection. For collectors, the thrill lies in carefully examining every detail, looking at the luster, the strike quality, and the smallest imperfections. Another factor that can increase a coin's desirability is the presence of unusual minting errors. Sometimes during the production process, the metal planchet may be struck slightly off-center, or the design may appear doubled. These types of mint errors are rare and fascinating because they reveal how coins were made inside the mint. When such mistakes appear on a Jefferson nickel, collectors often consider them special pieces of numismatic history. A rare error coin can command significant attention and sometimes surprising value. Over the years, the Jefferson Nickel series has become one of the most widely collected groups of coins in the United States. Many collectors attempt to assemble complete sets that include every year and mint mark. The 1958 nickel plays an interesting role in these collections because high-grade examples are harder to find than people might expect. Coins that remained protected from scratches, fingerprints, and circulation are far less common today than the millions that were originally produced. When people hear stories about coins being worth thousands or even millions, it often sparks dreams of unexpected fortune. While not every 1958 nickel will transform someone into a millionaire, the idea of discovering a rare piece continues to inspire collectors. Stories of valuable coins being found in everyday change remind people that treasures sometimes hide in the most ordinary places. This sense of possibility is one of the reasons coin collecting remains such a popular hobby around the world. For beginners entering the world of coin collecting, the Jefferson nickel offers a great starting point. It is a coin that many people can still find without spending large amounts of money, yet it carries rich historical and cultural significance. Learning how to identify dates, mint marks, and condition can transform a simple coin into an educational experience. Every small detail on the coin tells a story about the era in which it was created. Collectors also appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into minting coins. Even though the nickel is a small object, the engraving of Jefferson's portrait and the architectural detail of Monticello demonstrate remarkable artistry. When viewed under magnification, the fine lines and textures reveal the careful work of the designers and engravers who created the coin decades ago. This craftsmanship adds another layer of fascination for those who enjoy studying coins closely. In the end, the 1958 Jefferson nickel represents more than just 5 cents. It symbolizes history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of discovery. Whether a collector is searching through old coin rolls or examining inherited collections, the possibility of finding a rare and valuable example keeps the adventure alive. Sometimes the greatest treasures come in the smallest forms, and a simple nickel can remind us that history and opportunity may be hiding right in the palm of our hand.